Alright, so in today's video, I'm taking a look at a knife set, and it is a two-piece set. It has a chef and a Santoku knife. Alright, so a few images that will detail more about this. I'm going to play right now. You can check that out. And then we'll take a little closer look and just kind of test out the sharpness and things of that nature and talk a little bit more about it. Alright, so as stated, I'm taking a look at a two-piece knife set. It comes really well packaged in this sort of a fairly thick type of a box that uses magnets for the closure mechanism. So it actually makes a great storage place if you're not going to use these, or if you're gifting these to someone. That works out really well. On the inside, it has cut out areas specific for each one of the blades. So that's always a nice thing because it helps to protect those nice foam that's in there. So it's built really well. You have a thank you card and contact support if you have a problem. Also, it talks about sharing your experience or leaving a review or anything if you're happy with the product. So you can do that and leave a review on the Amazon listing. And then you have some more information about the actual knives here. So you have a 8-inch blade on the chef's knife and a 7-inch blade on the Santoku knife. Other than that, I mean, I'm not going to go through every little detail. I guess if you can read that, you can pause that. Or more easily, just check out the link below. But just in case, just so you know. Now, each one of these knives do have a little protector on the tip, which is obviously a good thing. Protects the blade from damage. So you can see it is one of the black type finish, and you can hear metal construction. Now the handle is also metal. There doesn't appear to be any major like gaps or seams right here. So hopefully, I'm not sure how this knife is built, inside, or if it's all, kind of one piece. But hopefully that means this will be a knife that won't break very easily. So, and of course you have the dimpled edges, which help the food that you're cutting to separate. So you got your chef and your Santoku knife there. And the handles, they're also metal. They have a slight texture to them. They're actually very comfortable. They have a decent weight. They're definitely not overly heavy. I think one big thing, and this is kind of a general type statement here, if you own knives and they're really nice knives, you probably already know to take care of them the proper way. But if not, keep in mind you do not want to use the dishwasher. Even though they may say they are capable of doing so, it's not ideal. It will cause rapid deterioration of the knife. And the other thing, main two things, when you clean the knife by hand, obviously, don't let it air dry like you might some of your other utensils or other dishes and such. Go ahead and dry it completely right after you finish cleaning it, and that's going to give it the longest possible lifespan. You don't have to worry then, hopefully, as much or not as likely to deal with different issues that could come about. I don't know about the long term as far as the black coating, but I'm hopeful that it will last a long time. They are fairly sharp. Of course, they're not going to be the best knives you've ever bought if you've ever bought really nice knives, and they're not going to be the last knives you ever buy. But if you take good care of them, they probably should last quite a while, judging by the construction and the feel. And I don't eat a lot of vegetables, and I really don't have a lot of things right now to cut available to me. But, and I know this is not the intended use, but because it's similar in texture and difficulty to cut, and I need to cut it anyway because I'm working on another project. So I'm just going to use this pool noodle as an example and cut this pool noodle with one of these knives. So it gives you an idea of the sharpness, hopefully. Vegetables and fruits, probably, I guess, more so what a lot of people use it for. More. Alright, since I knew the pool noodle probably wouldn't cut it, I am including a apple being cut real quickly, just for demonstration purposes. So let me adjust the camera. And go with one here. I don't want to smash my actual cutting board, so I'm not putting too much pressure. Now normally I like to cut with ceramic blades because you don't have to worry about the browning of the apple, but for the purpose of this demonstration, this thing cuts really, really well. Both of these do, actually. Not a lot of force required, so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you really quickly. Works really, really well. They are very sharp, so hopefully they'll maintain their sharpness for a long time, and hopefully that's just a quick demonstration to show you. And this was an apple that was in the fridge, meaning it was very cold. Makes it more crisp and not as soft, so it's a little bit more of a challenge to cut through it than a warmer apple, I believe, as far as the actual hardness goes. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give you a quick demonstration besides the pool noodle. I still thought that was kind of fun and out of the box type thing. And it's still going to be included, but more frequently, because those are probably the more readily available type things people cook with. But I don't eat a lot of vegetables. I just don't like them. But by any means, I thought this would be kind of a fun little thing to do, and it's something I need to do anyway. So I cut like a hot knife through butter. Wow. I actually cut the other pool noodle that I was working with, because I needed to cut two of them, with one of my ceramic blades, and that, surprisingly enough, felt just about, if not equally, maybe even a little more sharp and easy. I think it's due to the length of the blade, because it was able to just flow across it. But I mean, with almost no pressure whatsoever, that just glided right through. So once I start to get more into cooking, which I'm going to get more and more into, something that definitely of interest to me, these are definitely going to be very useful. I just want to show you how quick and easy it was to cut through something like, you know, if you're, for me, bananas, apples, you know, those are about, you know, the main two fruits that I'm going to eat. Oranges, perhaps, sometimes. Vegetables, very little, if any. But I just wanted to kind of show you that. I find them very comfortable. I really like that the blade here. I've had some knives in the past where this portion was just the exposed blade, and the blade would curve upward. And I liked the knife, but I didn't like it as much as I could, because I was always a little concerned holding it like this. And you know, if you're slicing, or you know, if you're doing like a sawing motion, which these are sharp enough for the most part, you shouldn't need to be doing that. You've got really, you know, a good, you know, protection afforded you by the design right there. And of course, there's the curvature to the blade, so when you're doing, you know, the rocking motion for chopping and such, that's definitely going to be an option. Now see, this one is designed a little different, and it doesn't have that full protection, which is fine because it is tapered a little bit, and of course your sharp edge is here, so you know, your hand, even if it did slip up to this point, if it slipped beyond this point, potential danger, sure. But if it slipped to this point, you're still fine. Also, you do have a bit of a curvature here. So long as you keep your hands in the proper position, you shouldn't really have a problem with that. And you know, the additional slight texture should help if your hands are wet, or if you're messing with food and, you know, end up with that you know, food or oil or grease or something on your hand. You know, there's always going to be some degree of slipperiness, obviously, but that should help a little bit as far as that goes. But I just wanted to share that with you really quickly. I've actually had a couple other products from this company. I don't use them on an everyday basis, but they have held up so far, no problems, no complaints, and overall quality has been, I would say, a little above expectation in general for the products that I have looked at from this company. So I suspect these, or hopeful that these will last long. I'm hopeful this finish will stay intact. And again, I think that comes back to the actual proper care of the knife to a large degree. But by any means, I just wanted to share that with you really quickly. I thought it'd be fun to cut a pool noodle instead of cutting something that you would typically cut, and I don't have anything to cut right now, and I apologize for that. So hopefully that will at least give you some idea. There is a link below if you want to find out more about that or them. You can do so, and of course, like I said, the details here and on the link below will give you more details if you're curious about weight and the overall length and everything else. I just wanted to give you the main thing most people care about, as far as I think they're going to care about, is the blade length of 7 and 8 inches and the overall feel and build, and not having like a gap in the knife, or if you've got the pieces that are put together and some of the different hardware is loose or anything, you don't have to worry about that with these. These are very solid and they feel like a one-piece type construction. I believe. I mean, I don't know, but they do look like that is possibly the way they're designed. I didn't read a lot about it on the page. I kind of like to judge things based on, for the most part, what I see and what I feel, what I get an impression of directly when I take a look at items. And I only try to review the actual page and specific details if I have any real lingering questions or problems. Anyway, I rambled enough. Just take good care of your knives, these and any others. Dry them properly. Hopefully they'll last you a long time. And these come right out of the box really sharp, so be careful. Also take a note that FedEx, UPS, whomever is delivering these things, they tend to like to play soccer with packages, and I had found that these, even though they have these really nice cutouts and they fit really well into the box, you can see right there, they just lay in there. They're not like smashed in there really well. This is a magnetic closure, so it's not like taped shut. And what I found was the knives had come out and were sticking like that out of the container. Luckily, the damage had not occurred, and it was actually sticking out of the shipping box, and I thought it was like a card or something like this sticking out, and I almost bumped it with my hand, which for me with Blood Thunders would have been really, really bad. So just a note, if you order these, be careful when you pick up the main Amazon shipping box. They potentially could be sticking out of that box. Just a bit, maybe a lot. Anyway, I've definitely rambled too much now. I apologize. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this somewhat useful. Please check out the link below. That is it.